once it starts producing a pineapple, it'll produce a baby. So it has a baby right here.
Even the rain's not going to slow us down in the jungle.
Out, and this water is a natural antibiotic.
The female that's had a baby here before. Okay. There's a
wild orchids just growing, miniature orchids.
So the mountain house definitely has all your basic amenities like coffee, sugar, spices. So this is the first of the 2 bedrooms that are in the house. This is the back way out of the house onto the porch, and you got a nice view of the backyard. And to the right of me is a storage area that's usually not available for short-term rentals. You got the bathroom in here. The Japanese toilets sure were interesting, let's say. Definitely a unique touch to Airbnb that I've never seen before. Or anywhere, in that matter of fact. First time I ever used them in my life. You got a TV with internet, Amazon Stick, Netflix, YouTube, everything you need. Watch my videos when you come in, or the guys from TravelCostaRicaNow.com. And then this way is the view of the back porch. Let's take a seat. Angela even remembered about soap and shampoo, so if you forget, he's got you covered. That's the inside of the mountain house. Now D'Angelo's going to take you around and give you a tour of the outside and all the vegetation that's growing here, and tell you some cool stories as well.
Welcome to, this is my mountain house, I call it. It is a 2-bedroom cabin here in La Fortuna, Costa Rica. I've had it about 10 years now, and it has been a work of labor. Lots of love put into this place as far as the outside that we're about to show you, because it was all grass 10 years ago, and then we added everything you see here. So we'll just hop over this way. Over there, unfortunately, a tree just fell this last week because of the rain, but over here is mostly just ornamental plants. Here's another type of a pineapple. It produces a pineapple up at the top that is going to be a bright pink, like you see on the inside in the corners here. It'll be a very bright pink pineapple. We get a lot of tropical bananas. So here's one of the tropical red bananas. They get a little bit bigger than this. These were kind of small. Those are not edible. They're edible, but not for humans. The birds come and the birds eat them. They're full of little black seeds that are hard as a rock. So if people eat them, we'll just chip our teeth eating them. So we do have lots of regular bananas. So over here we have some sort of, I think these are plantains on this one. And then that bushel over there is bananas.
Wow.
This is the jungle. Well, in through here we have what you call a bunch of haliconias. And so these the hummingbirds come in for all these haliconias, and we get about 9 different varieties or species of hummingbirds that I've counted here. So back here, these are more different types of plantains than the ones that are in the front yard, and also over here a bunch of different types of bananas that are all different from the front yard. Again, this is the back of the cabin with its back porch. We have here is cinnamon. There's 2 cinnamon trees here.
Wow.
They're in the age of finally I can harvest the cinnamon from the bark. Yeah, maybe like a greener leaf if you smashed it up. That one might smell more. Let's see, these more bananas, different types of bananas here. This giant tree, if the camera catches it, I'm not sure, but this is the youngest tree in my yard. It is the tallest tree in my yard, but the youngest. A bird pooped a seed out, and the tree just grew from there, and it just kept going and going and going.
Wow.
And that is an ice cream bean tree. So up here you can see the little beans. They're not little, they're big beans hanging off the top. And that's a fruit you could take off and you can eat it. Let's see, this one's a pandanus. It also produces a fruit. This one hasn't done it yet. It hasn't matured enough to produce a fruit, but this is a giant one. It has all these aerial roots that just shoot out of it.
Wow.
And of course the leafcutter ants, they take the jungle with them everywhere they go.
Nice.
Yeah. This is another citrus tree. It is called a kumquat. They produce little tiny orange-like fruits. This big tree I got with the house. It was a little teeny tiny tree, but this one's avocado. And I got avocado for the first time 2 years ago. So
wow.
Now I'm gonna get avocado every year.
Yeah.
Next to it is a mango tree. That one should be producing fruit next year. And then the one next to it is an avocado tree as well that's produced this year.
Wow.
This one's a lime tree. It's like my ugliest tree, but it produces the most fruit out of all my trees in my yard.
Whoa.
It like almost always has fruit on it. And here in the jungle, on every tree you see all the moss, and randomly growing you get these things. And these are wild orchids just growing, miniature orchids. They already flowered, and the flowers produce seeds right here.
Wow.
So they grow everywhere. They're really cool when you see the flowers on them. My yard is not too big, but that's the neighbors over there. This part of the Costa Rica, the La Fortuna area, is very quiet and secluded and very away from everybody. I've seen white-tailed deer back here in my yard. I've seen 4 months ago a jagarundi, which is a giant wildcat. Not as big like a jaguar or a puma, but it's medium-sized, I guess, wildcat. These are pineapples growing. They take 6 months to grow.
For one?
For one.
Wow.
They take if you take this top off and plant it in the ground, that's what this is right here. That takes 3 years before it produces a pineapple.
Wow.
But this one, if you could see, once it starts producing a pineapple, it'll produce a baby. And so it has a baby right here. That one will take about a year, maybe 2 years to grow. But you always have pineapple over and over. I don't know the name of these ones, but the toucans come and the toucans eat them. They produce the flower, which then produces these fruits. They get a little bit more red and purple, and then the toucans come and eat them. And these are honeycomb gingers, part of the ginger family.
So beautiful.
Yeah. So these little cups get rainwater on them, and they get covered in water. And you spill the water out, and this water is a natural antibiotic. Oh. It's a natural soap.
Wow.
This is Costa Rica life.
Nah. Pura vida.
Pura vida, for sure, yes. I think that's it. That's the walkthrough of the garden. Here we have the Arenal volcano nearby. On the other side over here, you can't see it because of all the trees.
Yep.
But also to the left of it, we have another volcano called the Cerro Chato volcano.
Oh.
So one's an extinct volcano, and the other one's a dormant volcano.
Wow.
It's been dormant for about 9-10 years.
Yep.
But at any moment, it can go again.
Don't scare me.
It was erupting and erupting and erupting when I first bought my house here. When I first bought this here, it was always erupting. So I was pretty scared, and I didn't realize why I bought it. Like, why did I buy so close? It's super close to the volcano.
Wow, it's awesome, really. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Alright guys, now that we had a look what it's like to stay in an Airbnb in the middle of the jungle, the mountain house in Costa Rica, I want to take you guys to meet some really cool people we met yesterday and show you their property. So we'll be able to see what it's like to live here full time, and they have some really cool trails, a waterfall, so I'm really excited to go swimming and take you guys along for the journey. So let's keep going. Living in the mountains or in the jungle, you definitely need to have a good vehicle to get through because you got roads like this. Take a look. Like a low sedan's definitely not going to do the trick here in Costa Rica. And a lot of the major roads they're nice and paved and you can drive fine on them, but once you start getting off the main roads it gets a little, a little bit more hardcore. So if you need to do short distance traveling, I recommend an ATV or a quad, but then you're kind of in the rain, it gets a little bit more tough. And if you need to do more traveling or carry more things, then you definitely need a bigger car, and I recommend something that's got 4x4 for sure. Amazing view, amazing place. Let's keep taking a look around.
This property next door is 15 hectares, so what, 35 acres or something. And it's been for sale forever. And now he like leases it to someone that has cows on it.
Yeah.
So every once in a while cows stand at the fence and scream to us. That's all that happens here.
So I don't know if you could maybe quickly tell me where exactly are. What's this place called?
Okay, we're in Linda Vista. And what's that? A beautiful view, I guess. A pretty view in Chichagua.
Chichagua, and there's the river right not too far, Rio Chichagua.
That's the
right?
Rio Chachaguita.
Chachaguita, okay.
So it's the little Chichagua River. And then when you drove out this way, you went over a bridge, which was over the Chichagua River.
Okay.
So yeah, the Chichagua Challenge, we do a 25-kilometer mountain bike ride, which it's an extreme. You saw our road driving up here.
Yeah, it's hardcore.
So it's a loop around here, and then we drive down to a place called La Pachuga. People can jump off the bridge into the little river there.
Okay.
Then we get back on the bikes and ride back to here. Get off the bikes, then do a 2.5-hour hike in the jungle, extreme hike in the jungle. Then come back to the pool and have something to eat and drink at that point because people are really tired.
Sure. And let's say someone wanted to get in touch with you or come out and visit, what would be the best way to do that?
Probably on Facebook to look for Chichagua Challenge.
Okay.
On Facebook, and then use Messenger from there. There's a Costa Rican phone number right there, the 7127-3132, and they can do WhatsApp on there.
Okay. Yeah, we'll put everything in the description so you can find it easier that way. So the jiu-jitsu, is that something like someone that was visiting, let's say Costa Rica on vacation, are they able to come and do like a lesson with you guys as well, or?
Yeah, we do regularly we do Monday and Thursday nights at 6:30.
Okay.
We're here every Monday and Thursday.
Oh, this outdoor kitchen area. No, we love dogs.
It was district here. They up at the waterfall, which is the one I showed a picture of, 70 meters off. We just use that, and that water that used to be the water to the house now just runs into the frog pond all the time. This one, when they're on the ground, they just look like a leaf.
That looks like a leaf.
Yeah. there are bats that stay inside here. Sometimes they'll fly out and land.
There goes, I saw him.
Oh, I came back in, but you can look inside there. And then you can see the other one
Yep.
up on top up there.
Take a look. Okay, so we stopped. We're about to do the easy trail here, but we stopped to look at the sloth. So he's sitting up, way up in the tree.
And the 3 babies are going
So you got a lot of issues with the hawks. You said you mentioned some earlier.
Yeah.
They're eating a lot of your birds and
8 babies, the dad and one of the moms.
got a lot of kick to them.
Those aren't too bad. These are killer. These are called chocolate something.
Wagga.
Ah, there's some right. You'll have to take one with you. When we come back, remind me.
Okay.
These things are like incredibly hot. Or I buy 200 bananas a day because there's so many birds here then. Like,
So you feed like all the birds?
yeah, there'll be
in-
like 10 or 12 toucans at a time
Okay.
here. Right now it's too hot, so
Yeah.
they're all up in the jungle.
where it's cooler.
Yeah.
Can
So
you
the
explain?
banana plant underneath, like you think of it as being like they call it what, the rhizome, I guess. It's like the
Mhm.
root that's underneath.
Mm-hmm.
This part that comes up is kind of like thinking of it being like the flower.
Okay.
It comes up and has fruit after about 9 months.
Okay.
After it has fruit once, it'll never have fruit
Oh,
again.
and then it's done.
Right. So then you cut it down and other babies come up.
Okay.
So at the base of each tree, you'll see new babies coming up. So where we started, now we have 25. There'll be 50 and then 100. You know, like
And-
it keeps geometrically.
And everything out here in the jungle just grows so fast. Like D'Angelo was telling me, people just throw their organic scraps out the door, and
Oh, yeah.
and then you have like pineapples that just end up start growing kind of thing out of the ground.
It's like living in a greenhouse.
Yeah.
If they've ever finished it or if it got abandoned, like the entrance is up this way. Yeah?
And what, a nest of what you
I'm
think?
not sure who makes that one. Oh, here goes one of the strawberry dart frogs.
Okay.
See it right there?
Yeah.
Is dangerous?
If you had a cut on your hand and got the skin, then yeah. Because they get their name from the people in South America using it on the end of their blow darts
Sure.
to kill monkeys or whatever. What's interesting with these, the male calls like that and just stays like in the leaf litter like this. A female comes and lays eggs and he fertilizes them and then she leaves.
Okay.
Then he stays there and defends them as best a half-inch frog can do.
Mm-hmm.
Then she comes back when the eggs hatch and she picks up the tadpoles one at a time on her back and she climbs up in the trees where there's a bromeliad with a little cup of water
Mhm.
and it'll wiggle off into there and
Wow.
then she'll turn around and lay an infertile egg and she'll move all the babies to different spots.
Okay.
And she'll return to each one and like once a week or twice a week
Wow.
and
And check
lay
up on
eggs for
them.
them to eat.
Wow.
To lay more eggs, and over the time she'll lay like 40 eggs for each one of them to eat.
Wow. All right, so we made it to the little waterfall here. A beautiful, beautiful place. So I'm gonna do a quick stop here. I want to ask you a question. Why did you guys decide to come and live in Costa Rica? What's the place you wanted to live here? Why not somewhere else?
So I knew I couldn't afford to live in the U.S. I wanted to retire early. Couldn't afford to live in the U.S. Europe is as expensive as the U.S.
Yeah.
Asian culture I don't think is as comfortable for me being from Southern California as like Latin American culture. And in Central and South America, Costa Rica is pretty much the only stable enough government where I'd want to invest my retirement money.
Yeah.
So
And why'd you choose the jungle mountain life and not, let's say, what's the most popular is the beach life kind of thing,
Yeah.
or the Central Valley area?
yeah. So the beach is really hot for my wife. I mean, it's hot for me, but I do okay in the heat. But for her, it was like just not enjoyable.
Yeah.
When we came here visiting, we always seem to come back every trip and just make friends
Yeah.
around an area really easily. The Central Valley, to me, seems more distant from nature.
Sure.
Here in the Fortuna, Chichagua area, like you're totally immersed in it. Like all the time, I'll be driving down the road and I'll stop because I'll see a tree that has macaws nesting. Like just down the road, there were scarlet macaws nesting. I see great green macaws sometimes in our garden. Like it's
Yeah.
just like the nature is just
Abundant everywhere.
right.
So living like from house to house and
Right.
everything was stuck together. You just got maybe a little bit of grass. That's not
Yeah.
what you want. So
and like Guanacaste at the beach is really dry.
yeah.
And I wanted to live someplace, coming from Southern California, I wanted to live someplace that I was going to have more than enough water.
Sure.
And Guanacaste always has water problems.
Yeah.
Like people have property and can't develop because they can't get a water letter and
Yeah.
all kinds of crazy stuff. Here, our only problem is too much water. Because it has to do, I mean, part of the rainy season has to do with how, like, the jungle makes its own weather. Because, like, plants to draw water up, they really, because water is electrically charged, they release it out of their leaves, right? And that draws all the water up. And so they release so much moisture that, and then at the end of the day, it all condenses and turns into rain clouds and comes back down again,
It's like a cycle that just keeps going. So.
Yeah, and there's just so much jungle in this part.
Kids, stay in school and keep learning. You'll learn all that.
Our two males, I guess, fighting maybe.
A little tired, but we're good. We made it.
Yeah. Yep.
The taste first.
Right. So by being good, so you get some juice.
Sour.
Yeah, right. It's when you peel off the red skin.
Wow.
Doesn't really, unless it's like, you can even feel it like disappearing slowly though.
Yeah, it kind of like dissolves off the seed.
But I mean the sour flavor from before.
From before, yeah.
It kind of tastes like if you have powdered citric acid and you mix a little bit of water, it's kind of got that kind of. How long do I suck it for?
Just right on there. Because you have to get all around all in your mouth. Never like the sour one? Isn't that cool?
Literally like you poured sugar on the lime. Wow. So where exactly are we going now?
Okay, we're just gonna walk where this trail ends and then we'll loop around and come back.
And then we got that really cool view on this side as well, right?
Yeah.
I wish a little bit more, you know, not so many clouds, or you guys were here, because the view here, it probably you can't see from the screen, but from out here, it's honestly one of the most beautiful views I've seen in my life. All right, Bobby, if you could maybe tell me 3 things about Costa Rica, or just living in life in the jungle in general that you love, and 3 things that you, let's say you don't like, maybe that are difficult or...
Okay, 3 things I love. The nature, obviously, like today we saw 2 sloths right here. You're just totally immersed in it. I like that we're far enough, the part of jungle we live in, we're far enough away from civilization that we feel apart from it, but we can go and be back into it and go to a nice restaurant, go hear live music or stream very easily. And I guess just that it makes you be more in tune with like the rhythm of nature. Like when
now it's raining, like
you have to slow down. Like right.
Yeah, we were planning on doing you know, the extreme challenge, but it's a little, with the rain, it's a little difficult.
Too dangerous to be in the jungle with, you saw trees, branches falling and everything else. Things I don't like. Gosh, there's not very much I don't like. I don't like when the snakes eat my chickens.
Or the hawks.
Or the hawks eat my chickens. Yeah, I've lost 10 chickens in the last about 2 weeks. So I don't like that part. I don't like when it rains for too many days in a row. I'm okay with like 24 hours. Yeah. But after 24 hours, I'm like,
that's enough. Enough.
So because I still end up going out and traipsing around in the rain. But it's very rare that we have continuous rain like this. Normally it rains through the night and into the morning and then beautiful days. Just like it was today.
Usually the days it's nice and sunny, and I've noticed that throughout most of Costa Rica that when it's in the rainy season, that is in the day till about 12 to 3 o'clock, it's sunny, and then it happens to rain sometimes. Sometimes there is days that rains all day though, right?
Right. But today was a beautiful day, very hot today. I mean, I was out by the pool all day. It was a beautiful day. So I think, is that 2 things I said I don't like? What's another thing that I would not, gosh, there's not really very much to not like here.
I think it all depends about your mindset though, right?
It is.
If you have the right mindset, what kind of mindset do you think someone should have if they want to, you know, come out to Costa Rica, visit or live in Costa Rica? What's something they should focus on?
Try and adjust to the rhythm of Costa Rica. If you try, like for me coming from the United States, Southern California especially, if you try and stay in that rhythm of getting things done really quickly,
like the rat race kind of thing.
Yeah, or that you have the day tomorrow, so you're gonna plan, I'm gonna go into La Fortuna, excuse me, and I'm gonna do these 6 things. It's probably not gonna happen.
Maybe like, 2.
Yeah, you may make it to Colono and you may make it to Maxi Pali or something, right? But if you have to go to the bank, that's a whole day itself. So you can't have like that same expectation that things are going to be done in nearly the same time.
Yeah, I'm learning that quickly. Slowly but quickly.
Yeah. The other thing is it's difficult to, if you look for a particular product, it's difficult to find things sometimes, and they're very expensive here. Like,
so what about cars? Cars, they say, is what, usually about 2 times more expensive than what they would be in the States, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you ever want to visit Bob and Izzy at the Chichagua Challenge, Chichagua Challenge, make sure you check out the link and all the information in the description. And yeah, we really enjoyed it, and I know Bob will definitely be back again and trying out the more extreme challenges. I just got to find boots that are going to fit my huge feet. So, no, but Bob has boots for people that come out here. Yeah, you got the bikes. What else exactly?
Boots and bikes, that's all you need.
Yeah. All right, so after about a 30-minute drive, we're back in La Fortuna. All right, we made it back to the mountain house. Time to make some dinner. Gonna do a little bit of editing, work on some videos, and relax. So yeah, as you can see on the screen here, the Wi-Fi in here is absolutely amazing as well. So we have no issues with that. So where we're staying here at D'Angelo's place, it's only about a 10-minute ride in town. And the taxi, I think they said it's about $6, $7 or something like that. So either you got a car, or if you don't, you can always call a cab and they'll bring you into town. So yeah, we're just gonna have some dinner. And do a little bit of work, and that's it for today. And make sure you check out the description as well. If you want to book your stay here at D'Angelo's place, you're more than welcome to. It's only $130 a night, and yeah, I definitely highly recommend. I really think it's worth it with the location, with everything you get. It's a lot better than staying like in a small place where you don't have a kitchen. All right, our time in the mountain house has unfortunately come to an end. We spent a total of 3 days here at the mountain house. Thank you again, D'Angelo from TravelCostaRicaNow.com, and letting us enjoy the jungle living lifestyle. It was definitely a blast. So what I wanted to do, kind of like what Bob did earlier, and should tell you my top 3 things that I enjoyed about staying here, and maybe the top 3 negative things that I enjoyed about staying here. So, and this isn't just to the Airbnb itself, but it's the living in the jungle kind of thing. So at the moment, we're currently living in the beach town areas, and I think I'm a little bit more of a beach bum, but I definitely enjoyed the time here in the jungle. So the first number 1 thing is honestly the scenery, the views, the animals, the wildlife here is amazing. And from what the guys have told me, that even during the dry season, it stays really green here, which is a beautiful thing to see. Well, the last time we were here, when we were driving in, I noticed that as well. The second thing is definitely the weather. The weather here is a little bit more cooler than where we're from, and I enjoyed the little bit cooler nights, and I think we had a really good night's sleep, even though the bed was a little too short for me, but I am quite tall, so that's not a problem. I think I'm used to it by now. And the third thing, seeing that the Airbnb we were at is actually really close to the town, so if you want to have, the secluded lifestyle, you have that, but within 10 minutes, you're in the middle of La Fortuna, go out to restaurants, go listen to some live music, have a really good time. So now for the top 3 things that I don't like about living in the jungle. So obviously the beaches. For me, the beaches are something that's really important, so just keep in mind that from what I'm aware, the closest beach is about 2.5 hours away. So you're gonna need to spend a little bit of time traveling if you want to go there. But on the other hand, you have rivers, waterfalls, hot springs, and things like that, so you can always find a place to swim. The second thing that I don't like about living in the jungle is obviously you have to keep in mind that the roads are not so good. In Costa Rica in general, the main roads are paved and they're not too bad, but you are gonna need a 4x4 or some kind of vehicle that is not like a typical low sedan, because with the roads, they are kind of, there's potholes, it gets muddy, and you need to keep that in mind as well. And the third thing that I don't like about staying in the jungle, that unfortunately is coming to an end and it's time to go home. I think we're becoming beach bums after all, so time to head back to the beach. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I appreciate all the support you guys have given me so far. And if you want to support me even more, check out the Patreon link down in the description, where you can find out more secret things that I'm doing, and special releases, and information about my upcoming ebook. So it's gonna be a cookbook with healthy recipes. I'm doing a lot of traveling and learning about different cuisines, and I really want to incorporate things that I've learned throughout my whole life and all the experiences I've had over the 17-18 years I've been in the industry now. So I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Peace out.